Thanks for joining me today. First, I just wanted to check in and see how you guys were doing. How's your day going? Let me know in the comments below. Today we're going to be talking about some fears of living in your vehicle. And I've come up with 7 of my own fears, and some of them you're able to do something about, and other things there's just you do the best you can and hope for the best. Number 1, have you ever locked your keys in the car? I know I have. It's been more than once. You'd think I'd learn. But in my defense, there was one time where I had my dogs lock me out. And I'm sure that's happened to some people. It was rather interesting. I had gone to a gas station, filled up, went in to pay, and when I came back out, there was my dog sitting in the driver's seat with his paws right on the lip of the window, and right beside one of his paws was the push down button. After that, I kept the spare key in a magnetic box behind the bumper, and I never ran into that problem again, because in all honesty, that wasn't the first time that happened where the dogs locked me out. So after the second time of being locked out by my dogs, I learned to keep an extra key, because it happened again. But this time I had the extra key. I personally have locked myself out of my car twice. Once when I was actually living in my truck. I was living in Barrie. I was down by the lake, and I decided to take a little walk. Without even thinking, I got out of my truck. My truck at the time didn't ding, ding, ding when leaving the keys in the car. It was one of these silent ones, so you had to remember. And I ended up locking myself out. Thankfully, I had my phone on me, called my eldest son, and he came down, and we were able to get between the door jamb and the door itself and lift up the hook. I don't know how we did it. I don't remember how we did it, but we were able to bend the door a bit enough to get something in there. Another time, I was at work with the same truck, and I went for lunch, came back. Someone distracted me when I pulled up, and it was rush, gotta go. So I jumped out of the truck, and at the end of the day, I went to get into my truck, and yeah, that was fun. Thankfully, I'd left my window open about this much, so I was able to go onto the job site and get a long piece of wood and run it through the window, across the truck, and pop the other locks. That was a good thing. I was able to get in. Number 2 biggest fear of living in my car is that someone will break in while I'm sleeping. So you can't always be absolutely certain that you're parked in a safe spot. Hell, you can't even buy a stick and brick that you're certain the neighborhood is never going to get broken into. So, having said that, I've come up with a few ways to help alleviate that. Number 1, I keep my key fob very close to where I sleep. It's usually hanging right at my head on the little hook. There's hooks here for hanging jackets and stuff, so I hang it on that. So that's number 1. I keep it close by, because if I need to, I can press the alarm button and lights start flashing and the horn starts going, and it makes noise. So that's a good thing. If somebody is definitely breaking into your car, the other thing to have very close to is your phone. I always keep mine, my head goes like right here where this part of the blanket is. I've got the drawers in behind me. So on top of the drawers is where I leave my phone without fail every night, so that I'm not fumbling for it in the sheets. I just have to reach up, and from whatever position I'm in, I know that I can immediately grab that phone. I can dial 911, and even if I can't speak, the dispatcher will pick up and they will be listening They will be asking questions like, is anybody there? How can I help you? And no matter what you say, they'll pick it up. So if you're talking to the intruder, for instance, get out of my car, or what the hell do you think you're doing? The dispatch will hear that and they'll put a trace on your phone and they'll be able to find you. So that's a really good thing. If you're not in self-service, do the best you can. You can pick up noise devices that you press and they sound a really high-pitched alarm, but what you have to remember is it's going to affect you as well. The other thing that a few people have been told or have told me is to carry bear spray. In Canada, it is illegal to use bear spray on a human being. However, in a situation, I'm not going to sit there and try and figure out the legalities. It's self-defense, and I'm going to use it knowing full well that I'm also going to get some of the back spray because you're in a small enclosed area. But if somebody has broken into my vehicle and they are entering it, I mean, what are you going to do? Throw punches? You can't. You're lying down. Having said that, you do whatever you need to do to keep yourself safe. Another thing that you can do is if you have a flashlight handy, you can shine it in their eyes. That'll disorientate them for a few minutes, or a minute anyway. Or remember that your phone also has a flashlight on it, and it's a pretty bright LED light. So you can use that and shine it directly in their eyes. And while you're at it, take video, take a picture. Like, that doesn't hurt at all. Most of all, remember that your vehicle, your home, has wheels. If you can manage to get into the driver's seat, then get the hell out of there. Number 3. My third fear of living in my car is that I will have catastrophic engine failure. The other day when my engine light went on, it sent a cold dread right to the pit of my stomach because right now I can't afford to fix anything. Thankfully, since I've had an oil change, I put in a new filter. I put a little bit of Vaseline around the rim of the gas cap. Surprisingly enough, those few things, the light hasn't come on in about 2 days. Fingers crossed. If you're driving and your engine quits, first thing to do is to remain calm. Remain as calm as you can. Pull over to the nearest shoulder of the road and turn the ignition key off. Don't try and start your engine again. Let it cool down because it may have overheated. It may be your catalytic converter if somebody hasn't already stolen it on you. It could also mean an electrical problem, which is more likely the case. You need to maintain your vehicle. That is your top priority because it is not only your vehicle, it is your home. Number 4 is every vehicle dweller's fear, and that's mold, especially under the bed. So mold is a microscopic spore that's in the air. And when it settles, it will thrive in moist conditions that they kind of just float in the air and they can easily settle on any surface. What they need to grow, however, is a suitable environment. And that's something that is very moist, damp, or even wet. So the mattress at the back that you sleep on, it's a really good idea to have some kind of air circulation underneath. There are pads that are kind of like mesh, kind of spider webbed. I don't know what they're called. They're really kind of cool, and they give you that little bit of airflow underneath your mattress because there's a lot of moisture in a car with you living in here and breathing. And if the weather is damp and the humidity is high, then you've got more potential to see mold. And keep in mind that anybody can get it. The one thing you can do to prevent it is, like I said, get one of those kind of spider webby type mats that lift your mattress up a little bit off the surface to allow a little bit of airflow. You can air it out. You can kill mold with vinegar and water If it's really stubborn, you can also use a commercial solution for getting rid of it. But in a vehicle, I would be very careful if you're using it on the carpeting at the back. Most cars have some kind of carpeting back there. If you use bleach, you're going to discolor that. So I would use just vinegar and give it a good scrub and dry it off really well. Preventative maintenance would be to keep your car clean. Allow air circulation. Oh, number 5 is a big one for me. I am so paranoid about getting into an accident and totaling my home.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like...
Because I know that the insurance company will not give me the value that I place on this car. I need to sell this car in the spring. The insurance company will give you replacement value, but it will be based on the blue book value or the blue book value, and it'll be the absolute cheapest. It probably wouldn't even cover what I have left on the loan. The replacement value is not going to be enough in order for me to buy a bus and, get my build started, rent or buy another vehicle just for moving back and forth. Anyway, that aside, that is one of my biggest fears, is getting into a car accident and losing my home. Number 6 is not getting to the bathroom on time. That's a big one for me. I have a tendency to get so involved in what I'm doing, for example, editing or looking up information or studying something, or even just watching YouTube and just going down the rabbit hole of YouTube. I put it off. You get that first twinge of, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. A little while later, it's like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. And you start doing this little squirmy dance. And I just keep putting it off. I keep thinking, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes turns into an hour, and I'm like, okay, I have to go. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I need to stop. The problem with living in your car and having to use the facilities, if you're working on the computer, then you've got to disconnect from your internet. You've got to save and close out all of the documents and everything that you're working on. Put your computer away. Get your car started. Figure out where you're going. Where's the nearest place? Because you gotta go. Like, there's no playing around here. You're going. And then drive to the nearest place. And then get out and hope that the bathroom is free and there's not a lineup. And I do this to myself every single time. And I do it because it's so time consuming. By the time you get back to your spot, get back your open documents or back to doing whatever it was you were doing, it's been a half an hour and you're no longer in the zone. So that's my biggest fear, is peeing my pants. My fears were locking my keys in the car, having somebody break in while I'm sleeping, engine failure, mold, getting into an accident, and not getting to the bathroom on time. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much. If I've given you a little bit of information that you can use, that's fantastic. I'm glad to help. If you have any further questions, please ask in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as humanly possible. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you know the next time I upload a video, because I'm not really that consistent at doing it. I'm trying, but I'm not consistent. I don't have a set schedule. Have a wonderful, awesome day. Take care. Bye-bye.